You guys ready to cry? Before we get started, huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Owned.tv. Owned is your one-stop shop for all your stream aesthetic needs, whether it be overlays, alerts, panels, profile pictures, whatever you need, they've got it for you. And my favorite thing about them is that they are all modular. So for example, if you and all your friends pick up this glitch pack right here that you're looking at, none of you will have the exact same overlay because you can pick and choose your favorite pieces of it. If you'd like to make the smart move like many of the community have done, feel free to use the link in the description below to pick up your own overlay pack. That link also helps support the channel, by the way, so thank you. Also, if you'd like 40% off, make sure you use code alpha at checkout. About a month ago, a little over 1,000 of you guys sent me your stream setups and your chatting scenes so that I could take a look at them, rip them apart, make you feel bad about yourselves, and then give you some good feedback. And it turns out, apparently you guys are a bunch of masochists because it ended up being one of the most popular videos on the channel. So we're doing it again. And I think if we continue doing this in the future, I'm going to want to theme them. So it's not just, hey, send me your setup, but maybe we'll have like, send me the worst setup you've ever seen. Send me the cleanest setup you've ever seen. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below which theme you'd like to see next. Also, if you find this interesting or you want to come and judge my stream setup, make sure you come and join my Twitch channel. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, link in the description below. I'll see you there. Let's get started with this one by Andrew, aka Rockhart, because we're starting this off in my mind is already blown at how well everything in this setup is mounted to this desk. So few things are actually sitting on the desk. You've got all three monitors. Also, these are also called monitors, but they're audio monitors. Lights, camera, microphone. Even the Stream Deck and the Go XLR are mounted, which, by the way, I'm gonna need to know how you did that because I'm gonna take it from you. That is so cool, and that clears up so much desk space. The branding is also incredibly solid. I love your logo. I love that you put it in multiple places. It's simple, it's fun. I could see myself wearing that logo on a shirt, which is kind of the point. And you somehow turned it into like a giant light. I don't know if you made this yourself or if you found someone who makes this, but I'm also gonna need to know where you got that. I would, however, remove it as your profile picture. On social media platforms that are meant to be incredibly intimate, where you have conversations with people, having a logo as a profile picture tends to make people assume you are a brand and not a person. So that's why in general, I do recommend you use your face or something personal as your profile picture and not any kind of icon or logo. But more importantly, I see one mistake that a lot of streamers make, especially streamers who don't have an extensive history using cameras, and it's with this camera scene right here. A lot of streamers, you included, spend a lot of time and effort on their background and they want to show it off. I totally get that. The problem is the most common way streamers end up showing their background is by aiming the camera up, so you have all this space above you to show off what's behind you, and you end up giving yourself way too much headroom here. And it kind of ends up making you look like a little kid who's trying to like see over a kitchen countertop, you know? So as a solution, let's say we were to aim the camera a little bit lower. The problem with that would be it would cut off a big portion of what you got behind you that you're trying to show. So instead, what I'd recommend is you take this camera here. It looks like it's already way above eye height. I would lower it. Instead of clamping it here, I would clamp it down here and bring it down to about eye level. That's gonna allow you to fill out much more of the frame and only give yourself about an inch of headroom, and you'll still see all these cool decorations behind you. At the end of the day, nobody's gonna watch your stream because of your background. They're gonna watch it because of you. So make sure you emphasize the you in your stream. And by the way, before we move on to the next one, I feel like I have to say it. A lot of this is subjective. A lot of this is my opinion. A lot of this is what I want to see in streams that might not apply to everybody, and that's okay. So keep that in mind. If I say something that's clearly my opinion and you don't agree with it, that's totally fine. We don't have to agree. Go ahead and leave something in the comments down below if you like something different than I do. Cool. Moving on. We got one from Dogan here, who's one of my favorite content creators, makes a bunch of Japanese content. Super funny dude. I feel like I'm missing something here. Is the perspective off here? Or is this camera pointing directly at the back of this monitor? Like, I feel like it has to be a camera trick. Like, it's got to be pointing between them because he's got this scene. So he obviously, the camera can see him, but I swear it's pointing right at the back of this monitor. Hold on a sec. I'm just going to type in, can you get another angle of your desk? Cool. He responded. Huh? All right, so no camera trickery. What is this? What? Okay, hold on. Oh, it actually is in the shot. iMac arrived 2 days ago. Haven't had the chance to reposition my camera just yet. Sumimasen. Okay. My brain was broken. Here we go. All right, now it's fixed. And by the way, I love the fact that he uses these two original, like the OG, where's the other one? Yeah, the OG Blackmagic cinema cameras, pocket cinema cameras, which by the way, if you're wondering why this hunkin' piece of machinery, look at this fat camera is called a pocket cinema camera. Yeah, this is a pocket cinema camera. It's because these are the precursors to them. This is the original one. It is actually a pocket cinema camera. Then they just decided in later models, hey, let's make it 3 times larger and still call it a pocket cinema camera. So yes, this is, if you ever wondered that, now you know. I guess the only piece of advice I have for Dogan is just be a little less of a weeb. We get it. You live in Japan. You speak Japanese. Do you really need the paper lantern and the sushi sign and the kanji over here and like just, you know, something to take into consideration. Cool, we got one from Learn. Had a lot of dope streamers join in this time. I'll tell you something I'm not gonna comment on, and it's that sub goal struggle. I love that chat in the corner just says Justin is the worst, and that's the screen cap she used. The camera angle looks nice, nice lighting, nice background blur. Still a little bit too much headroom here, but I don't know, maybe looking tiny is what you're going for, you know? But your setup, for some reason, just stresses me out. It's not that there's anything like necessarily wrong with it. It's just that like everything is just off. Like you got these 2 PCs over here that are just like plopped down in the middle of the desk, wasting so much desk space over here. You got cups for days, 2 cups, a shaker cup, a mug. You don't need that many cups. You got big old boxes under the desk over here that I would end up just kicking for days. But my biggest question about this is why is your Go XLR so far away from you? Like you're gaming all the way over here. I imagine every time you need to adjust your audio, you're like, hey, hold on guys, my teammates are a little loud. No, that's too much. Like at the end of the day, if it works, it works. You do you, boo. But I don't understand why you don't like lift this monitor a little bit higher so it's in line with this one, and then set this right underneath it over here, just like you got your speakers. It's just, it's too much for me. It's stressing me out. I need to move on. Okay, let's move on to Anthony Williams here because he's done a couple things that I really like. First one is super obvious. He put a ton of time and effort into the screen situation. I feel like he's supposed to be in the middle of the circle desk, like that Ron Swanson desk, but I mean, I could be wrong. It looks to me like you've probably got a pretty tiny streaming space, and using a green screen to do something cool like this is awesome. Especially since a lot of people, when they use green screens, they get really lazy with it. They're like, oh, if I'm using a green screen, I don't have to do any work. I just green screen myself into the corner. You put a lot of effort into yours. But the big thing that blows me away that you did is how good, this is a little Logitech webcam. I thought when I first saw this, based on the color and the dynamic range of your image, I figured you were using a little mirrorless camera. I don't think I've ever seen a little Logitech camera look this good and this vibrant, which is obviously a product of solid lighting, which you've got up here and potentially even another one over here, but also maybe I assume some color correction inside of OBS. It's possible that this screenshot just looks really good, so let's take a look at his stream, see if we can find a clip, see what it looks like live. No,
we lost the stream.
That's
for
just
like
what his
seconds.
camera
I've
looks
learned not
like.
to panic anymore.
Yeah, dude, you did a phenomenal job on making that camera look good. Solid stream though, man. 5 stars. Another notable creator here, Teja Types, who makes high-end mechanical keyboards, most famous for making that super fancy one for Tfue that was like $3,000. Oh, he's got such a gorgeous setup. And here's a picture of him picking his nose. How nice. Please buy me a Canon C500 Mark II. I knew how much that camera costs. I just wanted to make sure you knew how much that camera costs. How about you don't be a freeloader, Teja? That's my first piece of advice for you. I love his setup though. I love that the walls and the doors and everything are just matte black, except the floor is super soft and light, and the chair and the accents, are all like nice and bright. It creates such a relaxing environment. It also gives you a lot of control over the light because you don't get light accidentally bouncing off walls where you don't want it to. Also, he's got either a well-versed background in camera equipment and production equipment, or he did a lot of research on exactly what he needed to get the look that he wanted, because none of this is like your typical streamer gear, the nano leafs, the dark room, the bright LED lights. This looks like a photography studio. He's got legitimate lights. I think these are aperture lights, which are super nice. He's got this big old boom system for mounting his top-down camera, which isn't on there. I'd like to see what he uses for his top-down camera. Another mounting system built into the wall back there for his camera and microphone, which, by the way, the camera, it looks like we got here the EOS R with what looks like the RF 15-35 lens, which is exactly what I'm using right here. Great camera. And he went with a boom mic to be completely out of his face while he works on stuff, but he did it really well. This is a mistake a lot of people make with shotgun microphones like this, is they think that, oh, shotgun microphones can pick you up clearly from really far away, so I can set it 5 feet away from me. No, that's not how shotgun microphones work. You still want that thing as close to you as possible, but just barely out of the frame. That's the point of a shotgun mic. He's got some nice, what looks like diffusers, or maybe it's just shades over his windows, some cool ambient lighting, a bunch of stuff in the back, but none of it is overpowering and backlighting him too much. This just looks like a room that I would totally enjoy spending time in, and I totally respect that. The only advice I have for you is get rid of the cat. Cats don't love you. They're incapable of that emotion. It's just science. All right, this is a really cool one. McQueen here is sitting in front of a green screen. So when he's gaming, he's green screen in front of his gameplay. But during his intermission screen, he goes to a separate camera angle, which it looks like, yeah, is a GoPro or something similar to a GoPro. And he turns his green screen over here into his chat. This is so funny and brilliant. I've never seen anyone do this before. He even skews the chat so it looks like it's the proper perspective. It's really cool to see people take this ultra wide design that I kind of started a little bit ago with my overlay and just see what you guys have been able to do with it. I've seen a lot of you guys start to use it. I really love the simple design that you have in the background. I would love to see you do something a little bit more in this space than just a rectangle with gameplay, whether that's a widget, a metric, or like an animated logo. Find that balance between keeping it clean and utilizing your space. Also, here's another really cool ultra wide one, and I love what the Fraggin' Wagon did here. Instead of adding like a bar to the top and bottom like most people do, all he did was add like a nice little drop shadow down here, separating it from a really nice gradient. Dude, it's so, I feel like a drinking game on this video is drink every time I say the word clean, but it's so clean. We still have the same issue with way too much headroom up here. He obviously wants to show off his decorations back here, which who wouldn't? But I think the best way to do that would be to lower the camera a little bit and move it to the side a little bit more. So that way he would still be in the middle here with about an inch of headroom instead. But the display over here would be more on the right side of the screen. And then his face would be covering up more of this just kind of blank area over here. Also, your monitor layout stresses me out. Like, why not lower this down to be right next to this one? Also, 2 MacBooks? Be my sugar daddy. And lastly, same advice as McQueen. Find something to put down here. Don't fill up the whole thing, but just something on this side to balance out the widget on this side and just use the space a little bit more. It feels like there is a lot of wasted space. Is that? Hold on. There's an N64. Zoom in, darn it. I swear that is GoldenEye. Is that GoldenEye? If you played GoldenEye on the N64, you recognize that cartridge. You know that's GoldenEye. Take the leap. 5 stars just for that. Okay, here's another really cool art making stream setup from Dan Makes His Mark. I just love the extra effort for this camera mount to make sure the camera is stable and that it gets a good shot of the art. It's so cool. And what camera is that? I'm pretty sure hold on. I think I know it. I think that's one of those like mini cinema cameras. I think it's from Blackmagic. Yeah, I think it's this guy. Oh, it definitely is. For sure. And is that another one? Is that 2 micro cinema cameras? Hold on, I need to reach out and I need to see what his artwork scene looks like. Because I asked for an intermission screen, but that's obviously not the highlight of his setup. Okay, here we go. He sent it to me. Oh, this is clean. Yeah, this is nice. That super hefty zoom in from up top, it looks so good. That is some serious effort put into an art stream. The one thing I would suggest over here is I feel like your camera doesn't need to be this wide and it's cutting off a good portion of the art over here. That combined with this just kind of makes the art space look cluttered, and I would like to see the art space clean. I recently changed my gameplay camera and I turned the camera sideways so it's a vertical camera now, and I had some people tell me that's pretty common in the art scene, and I would recommend that here. If you had a vertical camera instead showing yourself, you wouldn't cut off any of the edge of the artwork here. Just a thought. What do you think? Let's end with one more streamer I tune in from time to time. This is Mariet, and this is either brilliant or the worst idea ever. This is a fantastic use of space unless you have roommates. Cause it's so because the lighting in here, everything looks so good. But if my roommate had a stream set up in the middle of the kitchen, I would be so pissed. But yeah, the lighting is amazing. The blurry background, everything is super smooth and beautiful. The only thing I'm confused about is why you're saving up right now for Elgato key lights. And don't get me wrong, I love the Elgato key lights, but your lighting looks phenomenal. You're gonna end up spending $500 on an upgrade that doesn't really change your content and doesn't end up making you any money in return. You're not gonna recoup that because of your Elgato lights. Why not save up for some YouTube gear instead? Maybe some editing software, maybe some courses on creating videos, maybe a video mic to go on top of your microphone for vlogging, or like one of those vlogging tripods. Whatever content you feel like making, put towards that and grow your channel, expand your community, and make that money back quickly that you invested. Just my 2 cents. But look, there is a lesson to be learned in all of this, and I think you know what that lesson is. Never go full weeb. I'll see you in my Twitch streams, and as always, happy streaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a wolf ahead of you.
So
Let's
good.
hope he misses. Oh, he missed! Oh, no! Did you do it?
I did it!